someone that might be the only smile they see all day, and I really like that, and we'll all miss you at the soup kitchen.
Hi, Vicki. I just wanted to give you a great big smile. It might be the only one you see today, and we love you.
Taken from God's Holy Word, Leviticus chapter 20. We're going to look at 26 for you, Vicki. It says in verse 26, "You shall be holy to me." You are holy to God, you are set apart for the Lord, and you have finished your call in this ministry, but you're not done yet. You have been separated for such a time. You are mine, and you are a special tool to Jesus. Thank you for all that you've done at the Soup Kitchen, and all that God has in store for you. We looked at many, many wonderful, great testimonies and more results. Thank you, Vicki, for all you do and all you've done. We love you, Vicki. In Jesus' name, amen.
And as you can tell, Vicki's made a little bit of impact on a lot of us. And so tonight as we come and as we celebrate her gift to us and her gift to our community, before we start, we've asked Richard Miller to open us up in prayer, and then we'll start our program.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. Where did Vicki go?
She was supposed to be in here when we started, but you know it's Vicki, so...
Vicki, you have to come up here. Vicki! Security!
I want to introduce you
For those who don't know, Vicki's a little bit social. And I know a lot of you she appreciates because she hasn't seen you or watched your face and go, "Oh my gosh, you're here, you're here." And that's what she's still doing.
Eric, why did you call? I got it nice to meet you too, and that's great. Eric, come on, Eric. Eric, I need a picture with you. Eric, where'd he go? Eric, tell Eric not to leave. Don't leave.
There he is. I want to click off.
Eric was my first sidekick, guy. Yes, sir. I put him through a lot. Whit was my second. We can't hear you. Get the coach. We can hear the voice.
You can't hear her? What?
Microphone.
You're going to talk.
I'm going to take the roll. Okay, here we go. I was thinking about on the way over here, I'll spare you the whole story, but a number of years ago, I spoke to a dignitary who was making major transitions in my life.
Can't hear back here.
Okay, I was speaking to a person who's a dignitary, and they were in the process of transitions. And I felt like the Lord said to me, ask them these questions. Where would we be if Noah had said no? Where would we be if Abraham said no? And we could go down through the list of patriarchs in the Bible and say, where would we be if they had said no? I am so grateful for people of the courage to say yes. To Vicki for her years and saying yes. Not once, but probably thousands of times when she wanted to do something different. And she said yes. we're excited about this. This is not a goodbye. This is about, we get to see what's the next chapter. It's a celebration. So I want to pray for her and ask God's richest blessing. And would you pray with me too and pray that direction? Father, we are so grateful for your faithfulness. We're so grateful, God, that you are the controller of seasons and we are not. We're thankful, God, that you are the one who establishes our purposes. You're the one who sets calling in our lives. God, you are the one who directs our steps. We thank you for that. We thank you, God, for what you're doing in Vicki, what you have done, and we get to celebrate all of that. But we're so glad that that's not the end, that it continues today, and we get to look forward to all the tomorrows, God, the great hope. We look forward to all of the tomorrows and what you're going to do in and through her, because she has said yes, and we know that she's going to continue to say yes. So we're asking your blessing on her, and let this night together settle deep in her spirit to know how deeply she is valued and loved and appreciated. And God, look at the fruit, God, that's been born in all these years of serving. God, thank you for her. Bless her tonight. Bless this time together, all the refreshments, all the visiting. God, be glorified in this place, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Thank you.
So, as we go through tonight, you will get an opportunity also to share. This is one of the last times, although I got to do this all last week, and I didn't get beat in the back of the head. If you know Vicki, you understand that. I might get beat later on, but that's okay. There we go. But it's not the back of the head yet. So.
Thanks, dear.
I'm not leaving yet. He's not leaving yet. So, if you want, back in that corner over there, if you are not an orator, someone who speaks, if you would like to write something down for Vicki, it's a simple way to do it, the welcome table where you came in, or be thinking about stories. With this one, you're welcome. She was like, it's like, yeah, I need to do this one more time for her. So if you want stories with this many people, keep it short. And they let me do this. As someone said, why are you here? Are you the bouncer in security today? No, I'm the mic check person. So just be able to do that. And we have a video slideshow that will start off, or is this what it is?
We just decided, there's 400 pictures, so we said let her go.
So never mind. We have a video slideshow that's going to be running through this. And to start off tonight is, as you think about your stories, looking Ann sideways, Anna was laying down in that picture.
As you watch the slideshow and you see some things that it triggers memories, tell the stories. So, Vicki, I love you. Everybody here loves you, and we are so just amazed at what you've done through the years here, and we're so excited about what God's going to do in your life. Everybody knows that He is so very special, and so what we wanted to do, several of the volunteers and staff got together, and we just did a sabbatical collection. So we know that your wish was to have 3 months of sabbatical, and guess what? We got it. She's worked so hard for so many years, and all of you have worked alongside her and just seen what she's poured into this place. So we're just really excited that you can have this time to just enjoy life a little bit and really seek the Lord for what's next in your life. So she's microphones. I know you're ready. Thank you all for coming.
I thought to say, whatever you want.
I just went with number 2 so I can pick on him. I don't know what to say, you guys. It's just neat to see all you. What an honor to have you guys here. I'm sorry we're wishy-wishy. It's like, Lord, bring on the air conditioning, please. No hot flashes can go on right now. But no, it's an honor, and I just appreciate you guys. When I was going through pictures the last 2 nights, and I know I messed up and left some people out, and I apologize. But I tell you, God really blessed me. I was shocked watching the kids, how they grew up. I saw, you know, Topher, these little ones of Topher there, Katie, and Claire, all these little kids growing up here. And it was neat. And then all of us that looked younger way back then, too. Oh, that was the famous donut picture. I had so much fun with that donut. Dino's donuts. That donut was like 2 weeks old by the time so we passed it all around. But, dang, I'm gonna miss dang. Aww. See? Okay, now I'll get all depressed again. But, oh, and I have to laugh at this. I cannot tell you how many guys I saw with former girlfriends. Can't use that picture. I was laughing when I saw that. So, if you guys, if the picture shows up there, I'm innocent. I did all these pictures. I'm innocent. But thank you. But you know, guys, I have to tell you, God was really cool. When I was looking at some pictures, you guys, most of you know, the desire of my heart is to eventually be, oh man, Gabe, that blows me away. I found the coolest one of Gabe back there. Oh, and Riley over here. But in the old building, we used to have this ledge. And they used to be, you know, I was so scared they'd fall. They would be on the ledge holding onto the banister with rolls of paper playing swords. But they're alive still, so it's all right. And then Cooper in the bathroom one day, I found him when he was like 2 years old or something, or 3. He's in with the water going, just playing away. Those are memories that I'll cherish seeing all you guys grow up. But I have to tell you, God showed me, I was like, Lord, why didn't you allow me to get married? Why? And seeing some of the kids as they were growing up. And there was a man that I was interested in, his son was down there to go out for the soup kitchen. And I saw, like, Lord, he has to be married now. I'm like, why? But God told me that I had to do it. I didn't have to, but I mean to do it because he needed me at the kitchen. But he told me also he's going to take care of me. Because I'm petrified right now, to be honest, not to, not have a job for a little bit. But he told me, I'm going to take care of you. And then when I listen to the human world things, you better find a job right away, the job market's tight. And I'm going to be trusting God and seeing what he has next. And what it took to get ready tonight, I want a job with blue jeans again. If you need a hairdresser person, my cousin Christina over there. But God did tell me that he is going to take care of me. But there's just a couple stories too that I want to share how cool God is. And my cousin Chris can verify we grew up together in the same town all our years. I'm the biggest scaredy cat you guys have ever met. I mean, I couldn't even, from the distance of this wall to this wall, my grandma would send me out, tell me, Vicki, go to the patio and get something. I'm like, I'm not going, it's dark. She would have to stand out to watch me go, and I would run. And for me to be working at a soup kitchen just is a mind blower. And I wanted to be a police officer so bad when I was younger. And for you older ones, Adam's 12. And Officer Reed was my favorite. And I remember when he was sent to somebody's house and he had to go in the backyard alone. And I thought, it's dark. I said, I can't be a police officer. But God just amazed. He grew it. Oh, thank you guys for coming. Did you say hi to all the Thursday people? Okay. Paul's back. Thank you, Paul. But it's cool because go on. I remember she's a baby. Oh, I miss Sue's a great favorite too. But I was just saying just how God has made me braver and relying on him. And Marty Turnbull was at the soup kitchen this one time at our old building, and we had some lunches going on. We had this long line, and we had had some gangbangers come, and they were big Samoan guys, Pong, and I don't know what, but they were big. And they went in the perimeters. One was by the outhouse, one was on one corner, but they circled the building, and they were eyeing, their eyes were on the line. They were watching that line, so I knew they were spotting for someone. They had no lunch or anything, and I'll normally go up to someone they're new and say, hey, you want something to eat? You know, just to try to let them know I know you're here. No, no, no. And then I watched him, and then I finally went up and I just said, guys, I know you're up to something. Something's going down, and I don't want it to happen here. It's God's property. And I was scared to death. But you know what? God was so cool. The guy said, I hear ya. And he walked off the property. He went like this, and they all left the property. Wow. Wow. Many years I've seen him protect us at that soup kitchen. It's been cool. And I just, yeah. I don't know what else is supposed to. I have funny stories, but I won't tell all of them. My favorite day is when Ben stood up to Chris. That was Ben and Chris over there. There's Ben. Chris would always have Ben do it. And then one day got mad at Chris. That's it. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. Oh, so he had Chris had Rich clean the bathroom, Ben clean the bathroom. And all the girls, oh, they were always flirting with Chris. It's okay, he's clean the bathroom now. Oh. And Ben told me that this job prepared him for a baby. And then, gross story, but this is hysterical. One day there was this thing of oatmeal vomit about this big, about this large, and it was thick and gooey. Chris and I are like, oh no. And poor Rich, we just watched Rich from the window, Dean, Rich and I, or Chris and I, here's Rich, put it up.
I'll enjoy your refreshments.
There's so many cool stories, and I can look at all of you guys, and just think of something cool that happened. And I learned so much of that job. And I wrote in that little letter the grace you guys extended me to when I was learning how to do this job, and the mistakes I made, and you guys still loved on me and were patient with me, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. And the thought of not coming to the soup kitchen does get me, because you guys are my friends.
What do you mean? I'm taking you there for lunch.
That's free time now. I have free time, yes I do. But then they need volunteers. Yeah, come on down. Oh my goodness. I knew I'd seen you. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, so I'm just thankful you guys are here, and I appreciate. Oh, Joel, one of the greatest youth pastors around right there. Yeah. It's an honor. He's in the soup kitchen now once a month with Pathways. That is typical. When you said you were going to come down there. But I just love you guys, and if I think of something, which I know I will. So I got this Italian whack thing. It's just automatic. The guy's like, and that means, you know, if I do that to you, I like you. Well, one day Rich said to me, you know, that's assault. Guys that I worked with, I would do that to a. Trouble. I gotta do this. I did it to Richard once, but it wasn't on duty. It was off at his party, 80th birthday party. I whacked him, but he had it down wrong. He came to me one day at work. That's just one whack. But if I don't, in the meantime, I just want to say thank you guys for coming and making it out. And I hope you guys. I wanted this to be. I kept saying no to a party. But I wanted, the only reason I finally accepted yes was because volunteers are asking, and so I wanted to make sure old volunteers were here to see the newer volunteers, and I just wanted to make sure it would be a party for you guys. And Marty and Diane Turnbow, for you guys, I know they came in from Oregon, and I was tickled. Marty was our old our board president, board vice president. Lana and Kim Bowen flew from Texas, and I was tickled for that. That came in. And just seeing all you guys grew up. I just grew up. But, yeah.
All right, we're going to keep this up. fun. We know how well that'll work. Yeah, well, let's put her in the hot seat. She's like, no, not much. So what we want to do right now is we want to give you a chance. Hi, Mark. Since Vicki's doing it, I thought I'd say hi to people too that I haven't seen in a while. To share a little bit, again, keep it short. And I think one of the things, it's always bad when you give a pastor a mic because our short is different than your short. So I'm going to try to set it. So Vicki, I think two things. One, I believe God says, well done, good and faithful servant. I have watched you and I have learned how to deal with people. I still hear you say this is God's property and the drug dealers all leave, and the gangbangers all leave. So that's one of the things. And I think about the grace that you extend to us as volunteers and the grace you extend to our friends and our guests who come in.
I needed it.
And to me, that is a great model and example of what Christ and how God calls us to be. That you set that model. So thank you very much for that. And I'm still upset you won't let me make soup. I burned it once and I was off the soup detail from there on. It was not. It was that bad. Anybody like a story they'd like to share with Vicki? Short, remember.
Short. Do I have to push that?
No, you just stop.
I've known Vicki. I've known Vicki since Long's Drugstore's day, and went through Salsa Vida with her, and then she roped me into the soup kitchen. And she has been a mentor, a best friend, a godsend, and I have watched her grow immensely, and she in turn has enriched my life, and I want her to know how very, very special she is to me and how much I love you. Thank you. I had stories, but they can't be told.
We have little children on behalf of parents. Thank you.
My name is Lynette Rickland. I met Vicki when she first came, and my kids were young, and I'm a teacher, and so I take my kids every summer. We come and volunteer once a week, and I just want to say thank you for loving on my kids. And they always knew that you loved them, you cared about them, that you were praying for them, and to have other adults in your children's lives is so important. So I'm very thankful for that. And I also brought my kids there from Grace. We came every year for Christmas, and it's just such a special thing for them to give to others. And the first time they've experienced that, have really great memories of that. So thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Vicki. Vicki would always tell stories about how I made her cry.
She did.
And she never forgave me. Because every chance she could get, she gave me peanut butter and bananas.
Wait, but Ron, I got smart. When he made me cry, then I went to Nancy, his wife. Nancy!
My name is Lana. I'm a friend of Vicki's. I met her at the soup kitchen. Just instantly wanted to be her friend when I met her. I wanted to just read this poem, but I don't have my glasses.
Maybe mine will help.
I think this just so says who Vicki is, and Ron Lango wrote this poem. And it says, very much the soul of DSK. I can't find it? Ask her. Can I use relish? Ask her. Keeps on trucking in the midst of chaos. It's peanut butter today, ha ha. Mighty is her value, always ready to feed, ready and willing problem solver, the queen of her domain. It's amazing she's not crazy. No one is loved more. One of my favorite stories about Vicki is, and it just kind of shows that soul that she has, is one day at the end of the day, we were cleaning up and everybody was gone and I couldn't find her, and I just kept kind of thinking my head out. She was talking to one of the clients outside, and she just was kind of like not moving. She was just like standing there like this, and the client was talking and waving their hands, and I look out 5 minutes later and I finally said, you know, let's go out there and check on her. And so I went out to check on her, and I kind of stood over beside her, and there was, as the client was talking to her, there was, in a kind of animated way, there was spit just flying all over her. And we all know that because a bit of a germaphobe. She just stood there and took it because it was more important to her what that client was saying to her than the fact that she was getting spit all over her face. And I just think that just shows her soul. And, you know, Vicki, you have been, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but you have been the face and the heart of DSK for 16 years. And your passion and love from Jesus that you have shown not only to the people that come there to get food, you know, you've shown them Jesus, and you have your compassion for these volunteers. It's just amazing, and it just shows the hands of Jesus in everything you do. We all love you, and we're so glad that we all get to be part of your life.
What?
Look at all the poor people. Can they come in, like around?
Sure, they can come on up.
I mean, there's room up
Push your way through.
Yeah, there's more. Come on in, guys.
Vicki'd like you all to come in. She feels bad to sit down with us.
Kendra, there's no I came back just for you.
She came back just for you.
You guys are here. Gentlemen can stand and let the women sit. Thank you. Yeah, I feel bad people are stuck out there. I have to tell you guys, though, this is a funny Lana story. We'll let a few more people come in. Man, you leave that cooler in your car. We're standing in the back. Okay.
We love you.
I love you too, right? And you are leaving?
Yeah.
Wait, can I get a picture really quick with them? Yeah. Guys, can I take a picture with them? Oh, I've never seen him anymore. He was a long dog. What? Put the camera. Chris. These pictures in line.
She's got a Chris.
Someone got it?
Oh, thank goodness. So, we do a devotion every day, guys. This is the crack. We do a daily devotion. And this is when Lana was volunteering, and our building was 2 stories. The bottom level you did sandwiches, mid-level was dessert, and then also soup, and the 3rd level was a kitchen where in the offices. So we had this young man, Mark, who was mentally ill, and Patty would let him come do devotions with us, sit in. But he would interrupt a lot, so I said, Mark, I said, you can sit in on devotion, but do not interrupt. And I says, I need to get this devotion done. He goes, okay. Well, hey, Uncle Joe. He's doing devotion, and all of a sudden Mark goes in the middle of the devotion. I see black things floating in the air. I'm thinking in my head, I know a lot of spiritual, weird stuff goes on sometimes. I go, great. And then Whit was there, and Whit goes, I see him too. Whit works with me. Oh Lord, what is going on? Lana had started a fire with her apron down the stairs. Fire operator. She lit the styrofoam cups on fire, and the plastic
Anyone else got good stories about Vicki you want to embarrass versus me?
I was delivering leftover sandwiches and cake leftover from the funeral. And Vicki came out to the parking lot and I was about to leave and said, "You can't leave, I got a story." There's this man that had trouble walking and probably had MS. And Vicki had told him to wait, and she went and talked to him and said, "Would a cane help you?" He said, "Well, I had a cane, but somebody stole it." I said, "Well, let's stay here, I might be able to find one." So she went and got a cane, and he was happy as a clam. I mean, it was just the right size. And then Vicki said, "Would you pray for the old fellow that makes these canes? As you use the cane, would you ever shoot up a prayer?" He put his hand on the shoulder, took his hat off, started praying before God in a big lineup of people, asking God's blessing on it. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty humbling when you stop and think that you might have spent the night under a window.
But I have respect, I would never say, "Oh, you're my favorite." He's gonna perform my wedding one day, so I would say, "Keith, you gotta get better, you're performing my wedding." Is there anybody? No. He's living a long time.
Your wife seconded that, by the way.
I'm kind of a newcomer to the soup kitchen based on the length of the longevity of everybody who's been there. I've only been there about 2.5 years, but I'm so grateful to have had that time. And it feels like a lifetime that I've been able to enjoy your company and just to learn from you. The way that you have grace with people has taught me so much that will go with me the rest of my life. And with my kids and my family, it's just, you've just been an amazing person just to watch the way that you are and just to hear your name, Vicki, 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 Vicki. It's just amazing because you handle it.
Yeah, really.
My head would explode, and I had 2 kids who would. I didn't have the kind of grace with the people that I birthed. The people that you serve every day, and you've just taught me how to pray in the middle of anything. You know, we'll be in the kitchen at home, and something will go wrong, and then something will go right, and I'll say, "Thank you, Lord," and my kids are like, "Oh my gosh, she's fun just like Vicki." So just those little things, you're gonna. Just the spirit of you will go back to Virginia with me, and I'm grateful for that. And just, you know, I scooted in before you scooted out. So thank you for all that you've given in my life and my kids. And you just taught me how to love people that are hard to love. And that's staying with me so many places here. And I can't say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
God bless you and everything. Thank you.
Anybody else mad?
Uh-oh. I can tell by this smile, this is gonna be good.
Yeah. This man changed my diapers.
And talking about praying, she probably was praying. Oh, sorry, talking about praying, when she saw me walking up, I've got some stories, I just gotta pick the right one. And there are too many. The one thing about Vicki growing up, and what amazed me most in watching her at the soup kitchen, was how she interacted with people, because she was the biggest scaredy cat in the world. When she grew up, she was afraid, still kind of is, of just about anything that moved. And so, in the years that she's been up here, she came up, lived with me, and my wife for a period, as did all of my nephews and nieces that came up. But Vicki had always been special, and anytime that we had the opportunity to get out in the wilderness, I don't know which one to tell, they're all so good. Well, probably one of the better ones was when we went gold panning down near Girdwood. And it was quite a hike down, and it was, we had the entire family, so we were kind of a long line. And coming out and back, knowing that she was terrified of bears, I kind of played the part, and I had my pistol with me. My only regret is that I didn't shoot it. But as we walked up, she was behind, and I was in front. And I turned around and I played the part like a bear was coming. Big eyes, pulled my pistol. She just about knocked me down. A string of blankety blanks that you would never believe.
Oh, yes, we would.
She ran up there was more than one occasion where you didn't want to be in front of her whenever she got there. She's been a joy to all of us in Morgan Hill, California, where she was born and raised. And I think her mom still has a little bit of grudge against me for bringing her up here. And I didn't. They just kind of migrate. But there are better stories. And for all of you who know her, you just know the biggest story is her heart. And it just does my heart great to see all of you here in her honor. And when I saw all those cars in the parking lot, I couldn't believe it. I know there's something else going on, but it wouldn't have surprised me. And there are a lot of people in here and a lot of people expressing their love. So I just want to say that I've been proud of you for all of your life, and you've honored me in such great ways that God will do.
Just a little part for those who are in the back. Vicki's uncomfortable that you're standing. Anyone else? Or who else would like to share?
I could finish the story about Lana. So the story that I got spit on, I tell you guys that know me, right when I went inside, when the officers arrived, I went inside, it wasn't a Clorox bleach wipe, but with a eyeglass one, I took my tongue. Oh, and Lynette, when Riley was in 3rd grade and during the briefing time, he says, "Can we pray for my teacher? She's going on a missions trip, Miss Brickwell." I thought that was so sweet. Nice.
So I would just like to say we were Thursday crew for years, and we started, Riley was 3, Gabe was 1.5. This one wasn't even a thought yet. But Vicki always had this incredible stash of junk food in her office, and treats and toys. And so after putting up with little guys running around and half sneezing on sandwiches and wrapping them up and all the things they always left fully loved on and sugared up for the rest of the day. So, I would just like to thank you for loving on the boys.
There's Candy over there, guys.
Just thank you for loving on the boys over the years. And yeah, we definitely value the time that we got to spend with you in the soup kitchen for years.
Aw, thank you.
I'm not so sure if I was super pleased with the sugar in my drink. But they enjoyed it, and I kept, I don't remember which one it was that knew exactly where all the candy stashed. I mean, Cooper, I think, did too. And he used to come up to Atlanta, and he would
They're so cute.
and he used to joke that he would be the executive director of the soup kitchen because he knew how everything works. With no problem telling everyone where to go.
He told me one day, "Can you park there?" And I was like, "Hey."
So, I can't even wrap my mind around the idea of of what it took to manage the daily operations of the soup kitchen. And every time I would think about all of these, the employees plus hundreds of volunteers, and then organizing this whole day's event to serve 400, 500, 600 people was something that I just couldn't even imagine how you did that. And I thought in my kind of linear way of thinking and doing things, I would have messed it all up. And one thing that I learned from you, Vicki, was that you showed me how perfection and what it can look like in the midst of that, the chaos of the day, and how well you can manage all of the facets of the operation in your mind. And at the same time, every time we thought about a different way of improving something, the first thing that you would always come back with was, well, where is Jesus in this? And that was, that meeting. Vicki led with, where is Jesus in this? How do we connect people to Jesus? How do we demonstrate the heart of Jesus? And what does it look like if we're going to make some change? Do we see Jesus in that change? And it was a grounding, force, a grounding rock for me. Okay, so, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Senya.
When you get a little bit older, you kind of look back in your life and you think, I wonder if I've made an impact or touched anybody's life. But it's a lot easier to think about the people who touched your life. And Vicki is one that had a tremendous impact on Diane and I. And, I can think of one thing that comes to mind so much is compassion. Used to, when we were volunteering, we'd work outside and kind of keep crowd control, take a look at things and see the problems or anything like that. And we'd have an occasional little scrap out there, somebody's getting in somebody's face. And, it's so easy to go up there and as a guy, I guess, and say the wrong thing. And, pretty soon Vicki would be out there, she'd hear if somebody would tell her there's something going on outside. We're trying to break it up, and she'd come out there, and that's when compassion really came into being right there. And it just took the fire out of it, and she always used that, this is God's property, and we just want you're welcome to stay here, but just know this is God's property. And, what a lesson even to teach myself, an old guy, and others around, that, don't forget that. This is God's place, and we can use that wherever we're at. And we thank you.
Well, thank you. Boy, that's good. I didn't upset anybody.
Oh, not
We
yet.
didn't say that. I got the microphone now. No, you never upset me, and I just wanted to thank you for being so patient with us. When we would break the rules, or I know the thing that bothered you about me is my runny nose. I always said, how in the world I could ever work around food? My nose runs all the time. But you always had such a polite way of letting me know if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm breaking the rules or whatever, and I still always felt welcome. But, you were really good at letting us know when something needed to be done differently. And you had the biggest smile on your face, and that just makes a volunteer feel really good and want to keep coming back. I'm really going to miss you.
Thank you. Chris, this is your chance. Payback. No payback?
Nice. You don't have to be nice anymore. Oh yeah, I'm going to put them up.
Chris is awesome. I love him. I think it's his wife, yes.
That's the first part. Vicki's actually the reason that my wife and I met, and Joyce had come in to volunteer, and Vicki said, "Oh, I can give you your number, but you better not be messing around. You better get to the point." She made it very clear, so yeah, that worked out very well. Yeah, I think just echoing what everybody else has said about Vicki and working to perfection amidst all the chaos and just having compassion on people. Yeah, multiple chaotic situations, but even working there for, gosh, 2, maybe 3 years, I was fried at the end of a work day, let alone a week, and then a month, and when it's busy at the end of the month, and Vicki would never lower her standard, and it was always, it was Christ-centered, and it was, these are children, remember they're God's children, despite how frustrated or irritated you might be, treat them as if they were your children, and it was just amazing that she could do that day after day after day, and we get to the end of the workday. I could tell you a lot of things I probably messed up, but we get to the end of the workday, and Rich and I would be burned out, and we're ready to storm out that door, and then she'd say, one more thing. Did you know this? Free. But she wouldn't lower her standard, and she'd just keep at it, and it was always for the people, and it was about the people, and we learned a lot from her, appreciate that, and I think my wife's grateful too. I learned how to bleach wipe doorknobs and toilet handles and reluctantly clean bathrooms. I learned a lot, so we'll be in touch. But
You know what, I called that joke on Rich, because Rich was Mr. He was always nice when you say no. And I told him that the Alaska sausage pickup, that he had to get going.
It's time to go.
Yeah, right, it's time to go.
Oh yeah. So those of you that know Rich, he's very uptight. Runs on a tight schedule, very rigid, and he needed to go somewhere for something at the end of the day, and it was like time to go, and he had reminded both of us multiple times at 4:15, I need to go, I gotta be there, if I'm not there, you know, and so it's just time to go. Rich has got his coat, his keys, and Vicki said, just has that little look and a little chuckle, and she goes, Rich, she said, Alaska Sausage called, and they have a giant pickup, I think it's 2 or 3 pallets full of sausage, and I need you to go get it now. And Rich just stops, and his jaw drops, and looks at her, and he won't ever say anything negative, so he just kind of, looked around, but you could see him just boiling inside. She came out to tell me she was joking. That was pretty funny.
You lied to me, Vicki.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Lots of those stories. So keep it short.
My name is Rich. I'm not the Rich they were talking about. I can honestly say that Vicki has had a huge impact on me, and I do carry Lysol wipes in my
Baby wipes.
Well, I have those too. This is how far Vicki's grown. I've known Vicki for 20 years. We met through some friends. I helped her with freight at Salsavita. I was one of those scrubby, dingy-looking dudes too before they met their wives. She also introduced me to my wife, and she taught me how to get, told me to get haircuts, shave, and then, and with all that encouragement, I went on to join the police department, and we work with Downtown Soup Kitchen all the time, and the one thing that I can always use on the people that use the services down there is, hey, I'm going to tell Vicki. Vicki finds out. You're not only, don't worry about jail. So that's been great, and it's, she's been a great example to me through all these years, and so I always thank you for that, and thank you for introducing my wife to give me this beautiful lady, who also, Cindy Victoria. So after Vicki, do you have anything you want to say to Vicki?
You know what, Hannah? Where are you, Hannah? Hannah. Albertson, did she leave?
No, she's right
This
here.
is the officer that we had that cute picture that's up here somewhere with the two girls having a police car. There's her two little, that picture's up here somewhere. Oh, shucks.
I don't want to cut anybody out. Anybody else? So let me close in prayer and then come and please eat the cake, hang out. If you haven't seen Vicki yet or she hasn't seen you, come and make sure, otherwise she'll be mad that she missed you.
Well, with you.
Sure, you pray first and then I'll close this.
Oh, okay. Should I sing Elvis too? I mean, I say for you guys that did volunteer that came, I sing Elvis a lot around the But I want to just say too, guys, this just honors me so much. It tickles me, and I'm just seeing, especially all the kids that have grown up. You know, I just think it's cool. And you know, working at the kitchen too did help me draw my faith closer to the Lord. When Eric first started working with me, he goes, "Who is she talking to all the time when you're single?" And you know, I talk to God all the time. I watch TV and go, "Lord, isn't that funny?" So Eric was figuring out for the longest time who the heck I was talking to. He would be around the building, and then he figured out I was talking to God. Well, this is one more quick funny story. Eric, one day I liked this guy, and I posted it, and Eric liked a girl, and I would be silly, and I'd put pictures of her on his computer. And I go, "Good morning, honey bunny," and stuff like that. Well, one day, Eric put a picture of the guy I was interested in on the computer. Well, that wasn't good, because somebody could have saw that. He was clear in the basement in the corner, and I was clear upstairs in the other corner of the building, and he heard me. And he said she found the picture. And I'm like, oh. But let me just take a sip of water, and I want to pray. Father, it just honors me just for the many years that you let me work at the kitchen. Thank you for the grace and patience you had while you had me there. It was an honor just, I remember at times you'd be bringing in volunteers or clients that would just rub me raw, and then I would see how they developed. It was a sandpaper, Lord, and how they became pearls. And I saw, wow, that's why you brought them here. And I thank you. And I know in this room, there are some volunteers, and I know the exact reason why you brought them to the soup kitchen. And there's some volunteers in my mind right now that one was 3 years later, and I said, wow, that is why they're here. And I just think that is so cool. Father, I won't be there to see things, but I ask you just prompt my mind and let me know when I need to be praying for a certain volunteer or a certain client, Lord, and just tell me to call them or to check on them, Lord. And I ask too, Lord, that the clients I think at CAT that I didn't get to say goodbye to, Ben, Lord, there's other clients that, Lord, just take care of those. Take care of them, oh Father. Especially the kids that I've seen that are growing up and still trying to figure out their ways. And Tristan, Lord, thank you for Tristan. Seeing him turn his life around. Thank you for the success stories I got to see. Victorious, Lord, thank you for that. That is an honor. And Father, continue to be with the soup kitchen, Lord. Guide them, guide Tammy and Dave, and while they're down in that kitchen, and prompt them too, Lord, just to see who needs that prayer and needs the extra love on them, Lord, and continue just to bless the ministry. And I just thank you so, so very much for the many years you allowed me to work beside everyone. Thank you for the friendships that are in this room because of the kitchen, Lord. You're an awesome Father, and I just love you.
Father God, we thank you for our sister. God, for her 16 years of service. God, you call us to serve the least of these. And at the soup kitchen is the least of these in our community. Thanks for the compassion and the heart of Vicki. Obviously, she's impacted all of us here, and who knows how many other of the clients and the guests that have come through, even today on the floor. Where's Vicki at? She's gone. Oh man, I didn't get to say goodbye. So God, help her as she goes in this next transition. Help her to catch her breath. God, you tell us to take a Sabbath, take a time of rest. We pray for this time of rest to be great for her, to be refreshing, reviving. And God, at the end of it, that you open the door where you want her to be. Thanks for the model and example that she has set for us. And help us that are there to be able to fill the shoes, as it'll take all of us to do that. Watch over our sister and keep her safe. Open the doors you have for her. We ask these things in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And all God's people said, Amen.
Keith Flowers here, guys. I went through lots of ups and downs at the Soup Kitchen, and I just want to publicly thank him. When we were without a director 3 times, it was hard. And I would, out of the blue, get this call from Keith Flowers, how is God's little princess doing at the perfect time? And it was just cool to have someone that I knew had my back constantly in prayer, and that meant a lot to me. I miss those calls. I'm not your princess anymore.
Enjoy the cake, enjoy hanging out, and please check in with her if you haven't said hi. Thank you for coming.